I'm just going to hit start so that I can stop worrying about it and stop touching things, and I can just pay attention to you and talk to you. It's nice to talk to
Sure.
you.
It's been a while.
It's
It's
been a while.
always been a while.
It's always been a while.
Nice Ember mug.
Thank you. We're busy people with busy lives.
Yeah.
We got stuff
And I
going
feel
on.
like we had like false starts, like three false starts this year.
I
So we
know.
had like one episode seasons this
I
year.
know. I know.
Yeah. I'm
It's
sorry.
it isn't just us though. What have you wanted to talk about? Like what's been exciting? What's been like fun or like I would really like to dive in and have a nice chat with a buddy about this. Like it's been a bummer year.
It has been a bummer year. And we even had an episode that we didn't record, remember? Like we just vented for an hour and a half
We did. That's
and
true.
none of it went up.
It's true. We were just like this isn't a show. This is a conversation.
Which is nice. It's
Yeah.
nice. I
Yeah.
mean, you're
Yeah.
I enjoy talking to you, so it's
I
okay.
I enjoy talking to you a lot, and I've realized in the last couple of weeks, I went back and listened to 2 episodes, and I was like, we had some really good points at the time, and it felt like we knew what we were talking about, and God, it would have been like in an alternate reality where you and I had the time and energy to do this like every week. I feel like it would have been good for like other people at that point. Like the rate at which we talk is good for us, right? But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
actually like amassing an audience and stuff, we'd have to do it like weekly or bi-weekly or something, which neither of us have the time or energy to do.
Right. But you know what? How long have we been doing this, Sawyer? 8 years now?
Our first
9?
episode was in 2016.
So 8 years. That's because that was before Max was born.
Yeah.
So I remember.
Yeah.
And he's 8. So
Yeah.
yeah, 8 years now.
8 years.
9 years now. Sorry, I should say.
Yeah.
9. And it's I think it's okay that we don't do things to build an audience. Like that's part of the package.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I mean, hey, there's like we joke about the 2 listeners, and I think there is something like 2. So hello
Hello.
to everyone, and we're grateful,
we
really
have-
grateful.
we
We
have
have
a-
no resentment.
We have a few more than that, but no, this is what happens when we record like once a year.
Yeah,
You know.
there is a lot to talk about, Sawyer.
Oh my God, is there
I
ever?
think the episode that we didn't record is worth revisiting.
Okay.
Because that was our most about the world episode that we had done in 9 years. I think. Am I right? Is that the one that went away, that disappeared?
About
The one where we were upset about. Where I remember I was grieving my Apple fandom and how everyone's evil, everyone's a heel now. Or did that make it?
No, that one went up.
That went up.
That one went up.
It's true then. Okay. There's a lot to get back to on that.
Yeah.
But then I think, and we have some topics lined up for this, whatever this is, this season. So I think we'll keep going back to that.
I think we do
Uh,
one at a time until we're happy.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Until we're happy, right? So
that's
the
right.
show will go on forever, Sawyer.
Yeah.
Is what's happening.
I thought I never put a subtitle on the show. Although no, I did. It used to be a podcast about being wrong.
About being wrong. Yeah.
But I that's not always been correct. We haven't always been wrong about things. Sometimes we are, but I think that's because we're human and we have, limited budgets and limited time, and so it's one of those things where it's like, well, we're not going to nail it every time, and I'm a little bit tech cursed, but that's like a funny metaphor more than anything. But what we do, I think, accomplish is a little bit of like tech support therapy, right? Which, is to me is the value I get out of talking to you. Is I do feel like all this, you think about this stuff all the time, right? And then we get it out here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm cleansed. I feel good. I feel like I can move on from a thing.
Right.
You know?
It doesn't. It's also because I think, and I'm not saying this like with any judgment, but just as an observation that most of the tech podcast space is about being right. Like, is about how right everyone is all the time. I mean, I'm speaking in generalities, of course. It's not that people are righteous all the time, but I just really enjoy. I mean, the inception of the show all the way till now is just us finding a space to admit being wrong all the time, and we make these decisions and we grieve about them and we vent about them.
Yeah.
And we don't often hear that. We hear people talk about and complain and critique everyone else but themselves. And one of the things you and I have in common is we I don't know if we enjoy it, but we have an affinity for self-critique, I think.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
Yeah.
A willingness to be like this. You know, I don't know what I was doing with this one. You know, that whatever that might be that time. You know, this is an 8-bit DOE microcontroller. This is actually great. But yes,
episode 7 this season.
Yeah. So I thought I would change the subtitle to emotional tech support, which resonates with me, and I hope it will resonate with you and others.
I'm all for it. Let's do it. And I'm really glad you mentioned it too, and also gave the scope. Like, we revisited the scope of the show, because it's also one of the things I wanted to talk about. So for the topic for today, that in the list of topics we discussed before we started recording again, is I'm not sure how intense the listenership is of the show, but some people might remember that I mentioned a person I was very close to who had a fridge for lenses. So this person is very important to me, and he passed away recently. And I have to. My own grieving process, I think, is yet to be fleshed out, and we can I think talk about this. I'd like to share some stuff with you outside the show.
Yeah.
But the part that I feel like pertains to the show is just stuff I've been thinking about in the aftermath of all of this.
Yeah.
Where there is just suddenly a lot of stuff that needed an owner and a place to be in, and I have found myself and my home as one of them for what seems to me like a lot of things, but is really just a fraction of all of the things. And I say this is relevant to the show. I mean, I do want to talk about the things. I mean, just plain basic geekery.
Sure.
And complaints and whatever. And I will talk about some of these things eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I had been thinking about this is that the reason we have this show is because resources are finite. Is initially what I thought, right?
That's true.
Right. I mean, my initial thought was that if we don't have unlimited funds, you know, we work for a living and we save our money, and then we invest in things, and we hope we're right. Because we don't live the lifestyle of the tech reviewers and the podcasts who just get stuff for free. You know, they get a new phone every year to play with it and enjoy it, and then they get to choose freely.
Yeah.
Because that's the world we're exposed to, and that's what they do. But us real folk have jobs that have nothing to do with tech reviews. You know, but we're just fans of these things, and we like talking about them and thinking about them. So sometimes we get it wrong, and while the show isn't about just being wrong, it is really about the tech support. It really is about the. This is my 6th wrong iPad in the past 10 years. You know, this in a row, right? Things like that. Very, very you chose poorly. That's become what this show is about. And I thought about this a lot today, even before we planned this. not today, but recently before we planned having a show again, because I guess with respect to this person that I loved very dearly, this was a person who didn't have any of the limits you and I had or have. This is a person who did. I don't know if it's a generation thing, but this is like an old previous generation, 2 generations ago, uh, fan of modern technology and
Right.
all the stuff that I'm also a fan of now. And and there was no being wrong for them. There was just, do I want it and can I afford it?
Yeah.
And I'll go buy it. So now, at the end of their life, what remains from the tech perspective is just a whole lot of stuff, Sawyer. Just a lot of stuff. And it made me, it felt like an alternate reality thing for me where this is what will happen if I didn't have Char, I
Hmm.
didn't have Sawyer, and I had a gajillion dollars. This is what would happen. I would have an attic full of stuff that Max will sort through and see what he likes and what he might find useful.
Mm.
And then there'll still be just bundles of stuff beyond that that
Yeah.
Max will then hope goes somewhere else. Otherwise, he'll have to figure out how to dispose of them or give them away. And it's kind of a sad thought, to be honest, because I find my I mean, so at the most with the most self-centered way to see what has just happened to me and my experience, uh, grief aside,
Yeah.
I'm I'm coming away, I'm coming away the whole with a whole bunch of new toys,
Right.
right? Um, but I guess what I wanted to just share here in the show is that like I guess I'm happy about some of the toys. Like I
Hmm.
have an Ember mug, hooray, and stuff. We'll talk about the stuff eventually, but and these are great things. We don't need to tech review a lot of these things because I got to choose some of these things.
Yeah.
But just suddenly having like a windfall of tech gadgetry
Yeah.
on my lap doesn't it just made it all the more obvious what I guess we have been feeling instinctively how how meaningless everything is. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry. Just how meaningless and hollow and I mean it's
Why?
stuff.
Why don't
Sawyer,
we? Okay.
it's just
Why don't we start with something tangible? You brought up the Ember mug.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Tell me about the
Yeah.
Ember mug, because it sounds like, and I don't blame you for this at all. It sounds like the
Mhm,
whole of it, the
mhm.
is almost too much.
It is. It
Yeah.
feels like it.
So
I
let's
mean, I
talk about the Ember mug.
the Ember mug is once upon a time a thing that it was an aspirational thing for me. You had one. My mom has one. I'm into coffee. I love coffee. We've talked about this in the show before, but but it's to me it's a mug. I mean I live in the tropics, so there's no winter here.
Yeah.
Even when this place is cold, it is still humid.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm aware of the technology and Ember mugs are great and cool, but the price is just, I mean, I can buy a double walled stainless steel, really nice mug for a quarter of the price of an Ember mug,
Very
of the
true.
cheapest Ember mug,
Very true.
and and as I mean, I also have my own consumerist tendencies when it comes to stainless steel mugs. We haven't
Hmm.
had an episode on tumblers and mugs, but I have a shelf that has way more mugs than a normal person should have. So I already am, yeah, pretty like So I say this, and then now, but the Amber mug is a cool thing. I thought, and then now suddenly I have one.
Sure.
Like without even trying. One weekend, I come home with an Ember mug. and and I mean it's. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
I have one
You had your
question.
finger up.
Yes,
Mm.
me in the back, first time caller.
Yes, sir.
Is it like a was it like an in the box ember mug, or was it like a in use ember mug?
It was in use.
It was in use.
In use.
Yeah. So it was.
So it's there's reasons why it's not as great as it would be in my imagination. Like it is
Well, maybe, but
not.
it was like a this is a it was a thing that was in his home. He used it.
Mm,
It was a technology, and now it's in your home and you use it. Does that carry emotional weight?
I think that's all that remains, like of the thing. Just because I have zero need for an ember mug.
Right.
So this just became like a memento.
Yeah.
But the meaning and the enjoyment of the technology of so many of these things, starting with the ember mug,
Sure.
has just been kind of strict. So I'll give you. So I mean, you already know what I'm saying. So let's review the ember mug. It's great, keeps it warm. But also one of the things I discovered, which is why I guess I'm glad I didn't spend on it, is that I don't particularly care. I quite enjoy how coffee changes temperature,
Oh,
even
you
until
do.
it gets
Okay.
cold.
You like
I
when
do.
when like it modulates.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like from the super hot and then it changes flavor. Like sorry,
Yeah.
that's part of the coffee experience. Even all the way till it becomes cold, whatever cold is here in the Philippines, which
Yeah.
isn't even really that cold. It's enjoyable to me. So after doing the Ember Mug thing once, and then with the app and everything,
And the app is,
checking
I'm
the temperature.
assuming, still bad.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Like it's just like really is this what? And then you forget which one is the temperature you set and which one is the temperature of the thing, and
Yeah.
then it's just anyway. And I found that I don't really enjoy this. So which is the entire point of the Ember Mug, Sawyer?
Yeah.
Like the
It really
entire
is.
point
It really is.
is for it to stay at one temperature and for me to realize that I do not enjoy that
Ah.
is you know
Yeah.
so but I mean that's not the problem here. The problem isn't that here's technology I don't enjoy, but but, there's this other sorry, this is not really technology in the strict sense, but there's this one was boxed and brand new. These were two coffee glasses
Okay.
called Kruve. I'll send you the link, show notes.
Sure.
Kruve glasses, Kruve.
KRUV.
And the whole idea is that they are designed to optimize the sensual experience, the sensory experience of coffee.
Ooh.
One makes the coffee taste sweeter. One makes the coffee taste more bitter because
Ooh.
of the shape of the lip and where it falls into your taste bud area in your tongue.
Oh boy, that's
This is
catnip, huh?
So I hear about this years ago, and I see it in like coffee influencer people folk.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're cool, and then you see the price, and it's like,
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a mug. I now have brand new Kruve glasses, Sawyer, and I brewed some really great coffee and I tasted it, and one is slightly sweeter, one is slightly more bitter, not because it's magic, but because it's literally where it falls in the tongue when you sip it. It I think even if it was free, Sawyer, the thing that I can't
Which
not experience.
it kind of was free.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. This is my point. Like
Yeah.
it was free. Like hooray, I'm grateful, right?
Sure.
I mean, not grateful. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. But I'm not
Yeah.
grateful for the circumstances that led to me owning them. But I am grateful for
I guess that's
them.
where it's not free. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm grateful for the objects, but all that I'm thinking about, that's not true. But I guess there's a part of me that that gets a kick out of owning the thing,
Sure.
but I can't shake the feeling that this is this is really dumb,
Hmm.
and that so much of what I enjoy with this whole technology you chose poorly thing
Yeah.
is now that it's been dumped on my lap and it's screaming in my face how this entire thing, Sawyer,
Yeah.
is just hollow and empty and meaningless and just people looking for fake problems to make themselves more money to take advantage of idiots like me who don't have enough money to spend on all of it.
Yeah.
So then I have to spend for some of it and maybe wait for someone to die to then give me their stuff.
Get the rest of it.
I mean, I'm sorry to be dark about it, but it's just, I mean, I it's a weird experience because it's not. I don't think anyone would envy experiencing a death of
No.
someone close to them, but
No.
I do acknowledge the privilege of suddenly just being able to acquire like a bunch of stuff. But this weird experience of now being able to acquire, I'm
Yeah.
using acquire in quotes here,
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff, just reveals. I guess I've already talked about the insight, but I guess what I want to share is that it does feel really hollow, Sawyer. It does feel like it makes it so clear how none of this makes my life any better. You know, like
That's
it's my
interesting because
yeah.
I would think, okay, this is what you're going through. I do think is probably a fairly common human experience when a family member or a friend dies and the objects they own get divvied up amongst people and you end up with some of those objects. That's what's happened here, right? It and what you end up with is a mixture of stuff that you accept because it's been divvied to you, or you've gone. Maybe there's like a common area where you can go take what you like,
Yeah.
right? And you go, okay, well, what do I like? What do I actually want out of these objects, right? This hasn't been given to me as a sort of, will situation where I go, well, I have to take it. I can choose to take it or not. And you go, well, I do remember reading some reviews about this product at some point. I remember there being a hype cycle about this product, and myself,
Right.
I chose not to at some point because of it was expensive or it just wasn't the right thing. But it's here. I might as well give it a throw. And it sounds like a good number of the objects that are in your possession because of this very sad situation is in that category, right? Of like,
Yes.
you
Yes.
didn't have to take these things, but
No.
but you were like somewhat curious and like, well, this could be interesting, and 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 then there's someone's got to take it. It might as well be me. Right? And then, okay, so there's now this layer that's on top of all of these objects. And that layer was owned by a family member. Right? And so there's that layer of importance on it. But after you get past that to okay, it is still just an object that was for sale once, and it's either new or used, and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to see if it fits in my life. And I'm curious, like, where these things will fit in your life. Because I'm assuming this is it's still raw. It's still, like,
Yes.
you're still processing a lot of these things. And, like, your initial review of the Ember mug is fascinating to me. But I'm honestly a little bit more curious about, well, like, what's your 6-month review of the Ember mug, Like, because that will... At that point, you're like, okay, now it's been in my life a long time. Does it have utility, right?
Yeah, I guess if this discussion today is really just about the stuff, I'm excited to actually talk about some of it.
Yeah.
Eventually. I will say that right now, I mean, just quickly off the top of my head, things that have made my life better, like, are
Sure.
strangely the aside from a camera, which I'll talk about one day. I feel
Sure.
like that's its own show. We'll keep going back to cameras anyway forever
Yeah.
here, is an SSD, just an SSD lying around, a 2 terabyte SSD that
Wow.
I
Big one.
installed into my PlayStation 5,
Cool. I
which
didn't know you could do that with
makes
consoles.
yeah, you could
Cool.
apparently, and it just that it's a weird feeling where the actual experience of owning the PS5 is now superior.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's less cognitive load when you want to download a thing, and apparently I had some downloads pending that just weren't coming in just because there's no space,
Right.
and now they're all there, and there's also the internal. It is the cognitive load. The internal. Oh, I feel better about my PS5 now that there is this thing,
That's
uh, which
interesting.
is uh, uh, which is really not it's not an obvious thing to want in that pile of stuff. There's many more exciting things, including things like the Ember mug.
Yeah.
But this is storage. It's just storage, Sawyer. Fast storage that is more expensive than slow storage, which is why I never got around to thinking about it. But it's just fast storage and stuff like that
Yeah.
makes my quote life quote better quote.
Yeah.
Other things. Oh, this one I want to. I was gonna. This is the current project I have.
Okay.
AirPods Max. Sawyer,
Wow. That's a big ticket item.
which I had. It is.
Mm.
It's also. I would never buy it. Just never.
Right.
And I mean, we just know enough, and also
We know enough.
it just doesn't. Yeah. You know. You know. I mean, I'm a fan. Would be nice, but
But you know
you know,
enough not to buy it.
yeah. Like, don't buy it, Mikey. I would tell myself, like, don't do it.
Right.
What? What are you doing?
Right.
But now here I am. Here I am with a toothbrush and like detergent, and I'm scrubbing the headband to make it white, and I'm excited to use it.
That's good.
I mean, so that's fun,
Yeah.
right? Yay,
Sure.
AirPods. But it's I guess I mean, eventually there's more. There's
Oh
more,
my,
and
that's so
I
true of
think
the Ember
when
mug too, though. I would say, like I, the only
Which?
the only reason I bought my Ember mug was, and this is a very Canadian stereotype, but the only reason I bought it was because it was like 70% off on a sale, like where it brought itself down to, okay, this is affordable enough,
right.
But like I would never in my wildest dreams pay full price for that object. No way.
Am I still here? Can
You're
you hear
still
me?
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you're good. 5x5.
I wouldn't. Uh, I'm worried already. The thing about the Ember mug is it's so high maintenance. Like you have to keep the thing plugged in, and it has to stay in your counter or wherever you put it.
No.
You
No,
can't-
I will say
you
this.
can't
This is
put it
okay.
away.
Give me a quick 10 seconds here about a 2-year review of an Ember mug. The store I bought it from is out of business now, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to be that precious about it. The actual little dock that you plug it into, that should stay plugged in, obviously. But the mug itself, I just put in my mug section of my kitchen when I'm done with it, and then I plop it down onto the, I'm at my desk right now, and the little puck thing is on my desk. It's not in the kitchen.
Okay.
Right. And so when I come into my desk and I work and I drink coffee out of it, I put it down on the thing. But then when I'm done with it, I wash it and I put it in the cupboard. I don't keep it here.
And how's the is the battery not dead? Oh, because you use it regularly enough that it charges.
Yeah, I use it every day. I use it pretty
Right.
much every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it is about figuring out where it fits.
Yeah.
And I have to admit that well, I don't know. It's only been, what, 2 weeks?
Right.
So, and I've used it once.
Yeah.
But it's been on my counter charging
Yeah, and you're
for 2 weeks.
up until now, you've probably been living the life of I use lots of mugs for coffee.
That's right.
I would challenge you, I would say, just use the Ember mug for coffee for like a couple weeks in a row and see if it fits in your life.
That would require me to have coffee at home, which I can't do. See, because I go to my workplace. I have to bring a travel mug. Unless we're suggesting, Sawyer, that I leave the Ember mug at my office.
Well,
I bring a travel mug after I brew the coffee at home.
Well,
I pour it into the Ember mug when I get to my office.
That sounds kind of like a baller move.
It is something we would do, is it not?
What would be the chances of the Ember mug getting stolen at work?
No, not very high.
Oh, then do it. Okay. Yeah, I would say that's your experiment. Try that.
Okay.
Yeah, because if that's, you put the Ember mug where you drink coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it tomorrow. I'll just do that. I'll pack it tonight. Do my thing. But see, Sawyer, this already requires 2 mugs that I have to wash daily. One at work.
Yeah.
And then one here at home.
Right. Like an animal.
Or, and I have a whole, I'm sorry to be one of those people, but I have a whole brewing setup at work. But now I have to, does that mean I have to start brewing at work again before I took on a leadership position? I could do this when I was just a teacher, or when I was not I didn't have many responsibilities. But now, see, this is the sort of thing that
I love
you chose
this.
poorly.
I love this so much.
You know,
I love this so much. This is nutritious for me.
It's very, if I may say, very not my tech bias lifestyle, where I am really bending over backwards to make sure the tech fits. Like, I cannot. But well, I guess I do, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's an experiment.
Yeah.
It's an experiment.
Give it a shot.
Let's see how the technology and the liberal arts intersect. In my daily life with this new experiment.
I do think walking around in a public school with an Ember mug would probably make you feel rich.
Well, I will say that although it would amount to a public school in Canada, I do work in a school with fancy people and fancy students. And,
you're there. You're fancy. You're a fancy person. Yeah.
So even if even the only fancy thing about me tomorrow will be the Ember mug I lug around.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
I think so.
So there's a lot of things that'll shake out. I just wanted to express the sentiment of meaninglessness.
Sure.
And, just to keep it grounded here.
Yeah.
Like, I think we enjoy what we enjoy,
yeah.
But I have just come face to face with an experience that reminded me how everything is chasing after the wind.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful anyway. It's fun anyway, and I'm glad I get to talk to you about stuff like this, because even if I've just come face to face with the void, I can't imagine myself stopping anyway. I mean, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Raise a family, be a good husband, and
some of those things.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy
stuff and complain about them.
I watch a good movie at a good theater. These are the good things about life.
Right.
Right.
VPN your wrestling.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Is there? So I have a couple of questions. So there's been some cameras, a mug, some headphones, an SSD, which I'm not to stereotype ageist wise, but I am a little surprised there was just a 2 terabyte fast SSD lying around.
Yeah, no, that's there were more.
Wow.
There was just a lot. This is a person with backups of their Apple II,
Wow.
So just So the backing up in storage is a thing that was paid attention to through
Cared
the
about.
years.
Wow.
You know, there's even a synology there that I'm like, I heard Casey Liss say that name,
Yes.
that proper noun, many times and
Yeah.
never understood it, and I saw it in person,
And you're like, there
and
it
I'm
is.
thinking I'm the only one in this entire thing that's gonna even have a chance of knowing what to do with this, and
Right.
I don't. Like, I just, like, I can't, I don't have
That
the time or
that one went to someone else.
the yeah, but there's also no one who it's gonna be there. It's still gonna end. I'll bet you anything, unless it's disposed of,
Yeah.
it's gonna end up with me. But I can't, even the thought of it right now is stressing me out. There's just
Yeah.
so much stuff that I don't even know where to put. I had to figure out how to move around my coffee stuff for the Ember mug because I have to keep that dock plugged in. You know, so
It honestly, it just sounds more and more like you should take it to work.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
See, after the show, I'm gonna pack it in my bag.
Yeah.
See how it fits.
Well, I do think there's definitely utility for you for the Synology.
No, okay, I'll ask you about it.
If
Is
any,
this a thing you use?
it's not a thing I use, but it's a thing I know people use and enjoy and like, and right. This is, I mean, to some degree, that's how you become a Plex person.
Ah, well, I once upon a time I was, and
Yeah.
then, but I get it. I
Yeah.
mean, now just context clues. I understand,
Yeah.
right? But you know, just who has the time? I
Right.
don't, you know.
This is, you run right into that too, which I think is also a very common human experience, which is you get a pile of stuff and you go, when am I going to have time to sift through this to see what's useful to me, what's worth like using in my life, or does it just stay in the box labeled from this person? Right? Which is also fair. Like I have a couple things in my closet I've been meaning to apply time and energy towards that just has the name of this person on it that I haven't had the time and energy to do. And one day I do want to, you know, I'll make a task in my task manager to say work on this, and I'll work on it, but it's not even in the task manager yet. It's just in the closet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I'm also acknowledging like my role in my responsibilities in, you know, in the among the people who experience all of this to support by, you know, relieving the burden of stuff,
Sure.
you know, which I mean, so selfishly I'm enjoying the stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's just the
Well, I
just
think,
the
are you enjoying
sheer-
it, or are you like, you're seeing the potential of enjoying it, but you're not even there
Yeah,
yet?
yeah. I guess that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And even seeing the potential and podcasting about it.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not enjoying it yet, is fun for
Yeah.
me. You know, it's fun.
Hopefully this can be
This is what we do.
cathartic in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I just have to say the sheer amount, and I didn't even, you know, mine is just but a fraction of, you know.
Sure.
If I was, and just the sheer amount, Sawyer, is just, it's enough, really, to make you question everything. Is what I'm feeling. You know, it's just,
You start looking at your things, right?
yeah. Like, what
you're-
am I doing? What am I doing? Right? What? You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's so it's, and that's really actually that's what I wanted to express here. Like, not that I'm at what am I doing season, but just how I see the frameworks at play here.
Sure.
I see what's happening, and I see my position in the story as someone who is reflecting on all of this and dumping it on my friend Sawyer. That it's a lot, and I get the sense. I just want to say, I guess, how I want to wrap a bow on this before I talk about other things that have died. Is like, I don't know, man. I don't want to be podcasting 50 years from now with you about how talking about our giant pile of stuff that just is meaningless.
Sure.
Like that's kind of what, it I really enjoy that we get to be wrong and share this together.
Yeah.
And we get to, we get to have like get some real wins whenever we have a win.
Yeah.
You know, when when technology is like works the way it's supposed to in our lives, and it fits, and it's seamless, and there's no friction, or there's very minimal friction, it's the best.
Yeah.
And that when it sucks, we can complain about, we can have fun with it, because I feel like, I guess what I'm really feeling is that since everything is so meaningless anyway, I'm really grateful that we get to share a pocket of honest joy about something so dumb
Yeah.
and dry and hollow
Oh.
and harmful to the world.
Oh my God.
We get to,
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
enjoy our sips.
I think I was just thinking, and you saw me look down here for a second, and I just had to do a quick Google to be like, what is this called? This, I've heard of this concept before, but I didn't remember what it was called. But have you ever heard of like doing a Swedish death clean?
No, what is this?
I'm guessing it's Swedish, but it's this idea of before you die, you go through all of your possessions, knowing that when you die, your family and friends will go through your possessions, and you basically clear out everything that you know is junk and will just be will just be somewhat of an annoyance for everyone else. And you just you pare down to what your essentials are, and then you keep the things that other people will love or will find use of, right? But like, you don't necessarily put that like idea that like when you die there will just be a bunch of things that people will go, I don't know, do you want this? Do I want this? What is this? Right? Right. You do that work for the people who will end up with the stuff.
Yeah.
Which I do think is a beautiful idea. And then you start, you look around your own stuff, and you're like, is any of this of value to anybody but me? And is any of this stuff, of value to even present me, or was it only of value to past me?
Right.
Right? And then like, well, it's certainly not of value to someone else if it's only of value to past me. But that's I wonder too, like if you have the foresight to do something like that, do you also have the ability to talk to everyone and be like, is any of this of value to any of you? Well, why don't we talk about that now while I'm still here?
Right.
I do like the idea of a death clean though. That feels nice, just selfishly, to be like, I've amassed too much crap. I need to get rid of some crap to feel like I can, move around again.
Yeah. I'm grateful that like that part of the DNA of the show is similar to the DNA of the concept of the Swedish death cleanse. It's like, but I guess I'm just becoming more like I took for granted. I mean, I guess it was built. I never asked you about how you are with accumulating crap, right? We just talk about like objects,
Sure.
right? But like now I am just like suddenly. I mean, I have been aware of this, but it's staring me in the face.
Sure.
Now. Just how I accumulate stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm now. A picture was presented to me of what I. And I mean this with no disrespect, and I think I should end after this. I should end the section on the death,
Sure.
With no disrespect. But like for me, it just became so clear that I kind of don't want to do this to the people I will leave the stuff behind.
Yeah. But I
for
brought that up because I heard you several times being like, this is, you're speaking to the meaninglessness of the stuff.
yeah.
Right? And it seems like there might be some value in like you deciding that as opposed to making someone else. In terms of how I keep things and get rid of things, so I live in a condo, which forces my hand on some issues. So I live in a more limited space than a house would be. I don't have like a room that I can open the door and like throw things into and then close the door. That room doesn't exist for me, which I've heard is a pretty common room in a lot of houses.
Yeah, I have one. I have one of those.
So I don't have that room. So I often live with a one in, one out situation for items. If I want a new thing, it usually means I got to get rid of an old thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when I got my new Nintendo Switch 2 a couple of months ago, that meant the Nintendo Switch 1 had to go. Right?
Yeah.
Right. I couldn't keep both. There's no room for another one.
No, there's none. I totally get it.
Yeah. So, and I think about that with a lot of types of things. There's no room for another TV in this place. I'd have to get rid of a TV to bring in a new TV, right? Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. And like even if they're not comparable, like if I want to get a new type of media, it might mean having to get rid of something else that's unrelated, but it takes up space. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems so sensible. Right? And I'd like to think I subscribe to the same kind of thinking. I actually think I do. But just we'll see how it shakes out, but now I'm just all the more aware of how that's a thing. It's weird. Like one of the things I was thinking about was happiness requires discipline. Like
that's
potent. It's just
yeah.
Right? I mean this is not I don't want to take for granted all the other factors that affect people's emotions, but I'm just talking about like basic you chose poorly tech happiness.
Yeah.
Like on like the worst version of myself with $1 billion will not be happy. It's just so clear. So
I'm beginning to think,
not to say
this is just a wild.
I wouldn't welcome.
Yeah,
I wouldn't welcome $1 billion. I mean, hey,
I don't know that I would. I've seen what happens to people who become billionaires, and I don't know that they're good people.
Oh, see, you're right.
Yeah, there might just be an amount of money that's actually poison to you.
Yeah, I guess. Right. Right. Like, and I guess going back to what we were saying is that it's probably smaller than I thought.
Yeah, that number is probably not $1 billion either. That's
not $1 billion.
No.
It's not $1 billion. It's probably much lower than $1 billion.
Probably.
Anyway, I just wanna. I have to say though that though I did not go into specifics in the show, I am grieving and I am coming from a place of love and honor. And even just whatever I can share about tech appreciation, there is a lot of fondness in my heart and a lot of happy memories, and I'm very sad that that they become just memories now.
Yeah.
And the fallout of this will it's a long time frame.
Yeah.
So, but as much as I can say in the show, I think I will just say I am. I guess I'll say it directly. I'm very grateful for his life. So just sending it to the air. Thank you, and I hope there is peace to be found for a lot of us who are left behind.
That's so nice.
I'm certainly, I think, grateful that I'm closer to that. That I can't take credit for. So I'm really grateful for a lot of it.
That's so nice.
So thanks.
And I don't know if memory is a technology or not, but I think it's a pretty good one. if it is.
So speaking of good technology,
Yeah. I don't know if we have time for a second topic today. I will say, I yesterday you were like, we could talk about two things, and I was like,
well, yeah, I suppose that's a good way to. But I realized one of the things we don't do in the show is do teasers. We don't do teasers for the next one because we're so afraid that we'll only ever have this last show and never record again.
I think there's a purity to that. To be like, any show could be the last show. That's how it works.
Sure.
That's life,
this
man.
Is true. That's absolutely life. That's absolutely life. But I just have to say, I think I've already told you that, and I'm sorry, spoiler to listeners of the show, but one of the hosts of the show is not only an Android user again, maybe, but owns a Samsung Galaxy Fold, a folding phone.
Yeah, right. This guy.
Folding phone.
This guy. Yeah. I was taking notes on it just a minute ago with a stylus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stylus.
Yeah, man.
Stylus, but I mean, there's a stylus. You're
like
doing it wrong.
Well, worked though.
I have many questions. I can't wait to ask you. I'm not even going to ask you now. Like, even after we stop recording, I'm just not. Let's just not talk about it. But there are many questions here.
Save it for the show.
There are many questions.
Yeah.
Save it for the show.
Speaking of one in, one out, what a story. I have a good story about this. No, I'm looking forward to talking about it. I'm really glad that we could speak to this concept that we've been talking about the last hour. I think that's interesting, and hopefully healing.
Yeah, it's certainly cathartic. I'm really grateful, as I always am, for you and the show. But thank you for letting me.
Let me know how the AirPods sound once you get them all cleaned up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will. But you have a lot to talk about. So
we have some.
AirPods next time.
AirPods next time.
Some other time.
Sure. I actually have questions with you about like AirPods tips, like the pros. But yeah, we can talk about that.
Sure.
Some other time too. Yeah. All right, great. I guess I'll see you next time. Are you anywhere else on the internet right now?
I don't. Instagram, I think, is
Instagram is the main
place.
That's become the website. Yeah. I'm glad they let me back on there.
Threads. Oh, that's a whole other topic too. Like,
that's the episode that we didn't record. Was the getting booted from Meta. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, we should revisit that. There's more.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
All right. Good talking to you, and hopefully I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Sawyer. Take care.
Peace.